men or Dominican men?
I like black men.
Why? What do you like about black men?
I like everything about them. Come on now, come on now. You know. I know something. I know something.
Men, be honest. Would you rather marry a Thai woman that will do anything you want, or a fat, overweight American woman that doesn't shut up?
Who needs a man? Oh, I don't need no damn man.
Some others choose protection over the picture-perfect family, or peace over partnership, or stability over struggle. Not all children who grow up in a man-free home are missing out on something, especially if that man was causing more chaos in that home than he is peace. Sometimes the healthiest homes are the homes where there is no father present in that home. That mother can sleep through the night. Those kids can sleep through the night. They're not up walking on eggshells. They're not riddled with anxiety when they hear the garage door open or the front door beep when their father is home, and them feeling a sense of doom or overwhelm because this man is entering their home. They just have a quiet house, a peaceful house, a safe house where they can just thrive as children. Having a man-free home is not anti-man. It's pro-safety for that mother and those children. And it's moms choosing what's best for their children over societal expectations of that two-parent household.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Stream God. Can y'all hear me today? Am I coming in clear? I'm having an issue with the volume. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all in the chat, y'all can hear me. But I'm going to adjust the volume if that's the case, because the intro was like super low on my end. And I had to go in and go out. That might be the case. I might have to do it again. I hope that ain't the case. StreamYard be on. Wow, man. StreamYard be just killing the vibe for a brother. But can y'all hear me on the chat? Put in the chat if you can hear my voice. In fact, I'm going to put a comment in there right now because y'all ain't commenting. I need to see if y'all can hear my voice. Y'all, if you can hear my voice, say, can you hear my voice? My VOICE voice. Chat, can you hear me in the chat? Loud and clear. That's what I want to hear. Appreciate you, Mr. Coleman. I appreciate you doing that. Letting me know. In fact, I appreciate you coming on the line today to let me say that too. And for you coming on there and having the courage to say that, I appreciate that. It wasn't no big deal. But I like people who step up and say things. So I'm going to give you a little something here just to get started before we get into the show. Why? Because you did your thing. This is for you, Mr. Coleman, on this show before we even get started about the topic.
If you know how you dey pass it up, shit, you know go one person. Love the way you dey dance, girl. I ain't offended. Why you kind of fire? Mommy, let's hop in my Maserati. Baby, hop in my Maserati. Hop in my Maserati. Hop in my Maserati. Girl, I wanna see you go down. Just say me, I love the way you bend body.
All right, well, shout out again to you, Mr. Coleman, for coming in there, letting me know that you can hear me loud and clear. We got an excellent show tonight, guys. And even if it ain't an excellent show, I'm gonna make it a good show because there's a lot going on we want to talk about today. But let me go to the right one here. I think we went to the wrong one here. There we go. Hold on 1 second. There we go. There we go. I ain't sitting here. Okay. All right, so basically, what's going on, fam? Let's go say that. Welcome to 8,000 Miles Away. This is your host, Vic, from 8,000 Miles Away, and today we're going to be talking about modern mindset that is absolutely ripping the Black community apart. And I just saw a TikTok video as I was scrolling, and a TikTok video where a Black woman proudly said, and you saw her on there earlier. She proudly said, don't live with a man, even if you have a husband or kids with him, it's okay to leave. That came out of her mouth. And the kids are better off without the father in the home. Now, when the hell did that ever was good? But she felt good about saying that, and we're gonna talk about that just a little bit on the stream today. And I say, and when I saw that, I say, wow, what? I've never heard that before. And that is really this modern American mindset in full display. That's not spiritual. That's not wise. It's rooted in it's not rooted in family values. That's just pure cultural chaos disguised as empowerment. And we're gonna break that shit all the way down. But before we get into that, we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the things that's going on today. Because, hey, we got to talk about what's happening. So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to put this to the side, but we're going to talk about this because, number one, this is football season, and my Panthers, they were actually on a bye today. They did not play. They sat at home, and that's good. I'm glad the season they've been doing well, not great. They're doing above expectation, and that's all you can ask for someone in the world is improving to do better and better every day. And the Panthers are doing better and better in comparison to what they did last year. And that's what we tell our people at work. Do better every day. Be the best you can be, but do better every day. Okay, so they're 7-6. Tampa Bay lost today. We're tied for first place. Could it be any better? We're in a position to hold our own destiny. We played them twice. Now, I didn't watch a lot of football today because I was busy putting this stream together. You know, that takes time and energy and finding the right videos and the right subject and working with Chat GPT and all that to put things together. It takes time to do that. That's why when I ask you guys for a shout out or cash app at the bottom or super chat, I say really appreciate it because it helps us go along. You know, StreamYard ain't cheap. They up to $100 a dang on month now. Did y'all know that? But I ain't talking about none of that. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the time we spent putting it together. And I'm glad to be able to get in front of you guys. I'm glad to be able to talk to y'all. And today we're going to talk about something before we get into our monologue and about this woman, this crazy, deranged woman. I want to talk a little bit about Shakur Sanders. And it ain't so much Shakur Sanders, is how white men. Come on now, let's talk about white men in America today. And I'm talking about mainly white men between, and this is generalizations basically. So we're talking about men between 40 to 60 and how they think. And we're going to start with Shakur Sanders. Because Shakur Sanders is an outstanding player. And a lot of us doubted his ability. He was a first rounder, didn't get picked first rounder. But we had doubted his ability because they shamed him so bad and put him on third, second, and third string like he really ain't that good and talked down on him. But today that brother passed for 360-something yards and 400 yards all total. He is a #1 quarterback from it. And we knew he was good from the lineage. Just being Deion's son gonna take you there. That don't always work in cases, aka LeBron. But in this case, Shakur Sanders is a #1 quarterback, and the shit he done took off that coach, that white coach, and ownership over there is out. It's just outrageous. And I got a video I want to run here on this, on what this guy says about it, because it's crazy. Run this clip, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about it.
With all the racist white folk, Bomani Jones, all them coon ass black folk, cause y'all come to the front of the congregation. Because Shakur Sanders did what we all fucking know Shakur Sanders was gonna do if he would have started from day fucking one. He got out there and outplayed the first overall pick. Outplayed his ass. Done put up more yards than any other Browns quarterback than I can ever fucking remember in the past couple of recent years. Hell, probably since I can't tell you. Put more points up today and last week than Dylan stinking Gabriel. Like, what was the point of that? What was the point of Flacco and Dylan Gabriel? What was the fucking point? Like, we ain't even gonna get on the conspiracy shit and the shit we actually know to be probably fucking true. Let's talk about football. Football. Can you explain to me football-wise why the fuck Shador was not on the field day one? After all the reports during training camp came out and said that he outplayed them boys. All of them. Kenny Pickett, sorry ass. Joe Flacco, old ass. And Dylan Gabriel, bum ass. Explain that to me football-wise. As shitty as their division has been, if Shador would have been out there from day one with that fucking defense and that run game, they would be in the mix. They'd be in the fucking mix. And what the fuck was that bullshit? He took Shador out on that first red zone push that they had, and they ran the fucking Wildcat. Why the fuck are we running the fucking Wildcat? Like when I was in goddamn high school. What was it, like 2007, 2008? When the Wildcat came on the scene? Like, what are we doing? In 2025, with the speed of defenses are now, why the fuck are you running Wildcat in the red zone? Like, dude, I should have known when Prime pulled up, because this ain't Deion right here, this Prime. When Prime pulled up on Nino Brown time and Stefanski was over there skinning it on that fake shit, this was a sign. We already know why Deion pulled up. He said, keep playing with my motherfucking son. Prime walked in the air, now everybody want to show teeth and goddamn shake hands and shit. Want to take pictures and shit. Nah, don't play now. Don't play now. Their nephew went out there and balled the fucking day. That should have been a dub, bruh. That should have been a fucking dub. But Cleveland, Jimmy Haslam, you got 2 first-round picks next year. 2 first-round picks. It's a plethora of motherfucking wide receivers coming out. That's your quarterback. Get him some fucking weapons. Trade Jerry Judy sorry ass. Get rid of Njoku because you got Fanning. Bring in a nice veteran wide receiver or two, and then you keep it moving. You keep it moving for that nice new stadium that y'all got. This your fucking quarterback, bitch. And get rid of Dylan Gabriel too. Get him the fuck up out of there.
Y'all been watching the news last week. The dude, the wide receiver Judy, got in your boy Sanders' face over the fact he's not passing to him, or just like wide receivers, you know, they on diva shit anyway. He got into Shakur's face and told him he wasn't doing what getting the ball to him. So everybody's fucking with that young man about being good when we know he is good. And for the white establishment to almost push him out of the league like they did his brother, it just don't make no sense. When just because he's Deion's son and they fucking with him on another level, it's all fucked up. And that's what I'm saying. White men between 40 and 60 are in this thing now where they feel like they losing ground across the board. Now, I know we're talking football, but we're talking world events. We're talking how they feel. And Trump is leading the way in having white men think this shit, that they're losing ground. They've always thought that shit. They've always thought that they were losing ground and minorities were taking over and this bullshit. And the shit that Trump said the other day about those Somalian people, when he don't say the same shit about other white communities, every time somebody white wants to come to the comes to the United States or be an American in the United States, he trashes the country and talks real dirty about people of color. And that shit eats me alive when I hear him talk about Somalia, other countries, shithole countries, all that on people of color. And along with all the other shit he said. And I'm going to play what he said about Somalia. Because I know y'all watch the news. And if you're a black person, even though you might not support the Somalian government, but just to hear him talk about people of color when you know how you think and feel, makes you feel a certain way. Roll this clip. He called them garbage. Roll the clip.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. For Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
But you were okay with those white South Africans coming here. Anybody white come here, you good as gold. But anybody black, you got to talk shit. You just feel privileged. Just say you feel like all these other guys, white men, you feel like you better than black men across the board, across the country. And you guys need to understand that is changing. That's changing. You fuck with China all the time, but China is really taking this thing and taking it to another level. Zoom did y'all know Zoom the Thailand. He did a really good special about these cars, and I want to put that on y'all should check. I might put the link in there. He did a special about, and I come from the car business. Both my brothers are in the car business, and the car business has always been one has been the foundation of America as far as money making. But lately, I'm gonna screen share. Hold on a second. I'm gonna screen share this right here because this right here kind of made me think. Because I'm always it's made me think. This right here. This made me think. Now, if you watch this show, this show on there, you'll learn. But if it wasn't for terrorists, I'm gonna run that down. If it wasn't for terrorists, first of all, the BYD, a Billion Dreams, BYD, I think it's called BYD car, is only $10,000 in China. If we had a $10,000 car here with that type of technology on it, you should see the technology on that car, man. That shit got more features and benefits than any car ever was. Watch his show. Because the guy does a review of it that does the black YouTuber that has millions of subscribers, did a show on it. And number one, this car is all over. It's the number one selling electric car in the world outside of the United States. But the United States is blocking this shit because they don't want China to make no money here. And if they do, they got these big ass tariffs on it that'll make the car cost too much money. It's outdoing Tesla hands down. And that's really a trip, man, how they holding back people of color, and I'm talking about Chinese people or Asian people or black people, because times is changing and people are catching up with these white men. It ain't the same party no more, bro. It ain't the same party. If you don't believe me, listen to what Elon Musk said recently on the news. He gave it away. And you hear that kind of shit. If you can look between the lines, you hear it in the news. You hear it from that Nick Fuentes clown. You heard it from Kirk to a certain extent. I'm going to give Kirk a little bit of the benefit. But he said a lot of bullshit too. All thinking that you're better than other people when you're not. And Elon Musk's dad said this recently. Wrote a clip. If I can find his ass. Hey, hold on, there he is.
The big concern at the moment, and why I think South Africa is a big talking point in the US right now.
And that to say, because white men have a tendency all over the world to think that they're better than people of color, and that shit is changing. Totally changing. And if they don't get with the plan, they're going to fall behind. Roll that clip anyway. I want y'all to know that. This ain't nothing y'all don't already know. But it's more people of color in the world than there are white people, and white people are feeling a certain kind of way about it. That's why you see America trying to defend itself and putting tariffs on everybody else and trying to hold on to something they got and having wars that don't make no sense. All this shit. But anyway, here's Elon Musk's dad talking a bunch of bullshit to kind of make my point. Listen to this.
The big concern at the moment, and why I think South Africa is a big talking point in the US right now, is America in the next 20 years will become, for the first time in its history, a minority white country.
That's right.
Well, that will be a very, very bad thing to happen. You want to see the US go down? Why?
That's not
you
true.
Don't like cars and electric cars, and you don't like technology, or what is it? You want to go back to the jungle, or?
If the US becomes a minority white country.
Yes.
Bro, who cares?
So there's Latinas, there's blacks, there's people from all different races.
Most of the world is mixed.
Majority, and then
everybody's African.
Be 48%.
Most people are African.
Do you really think the US is
if not clones?
If it goes under?
Yes, it goes under there.
Seriously?
Yes, of course. You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects
or a hybrid
European
type
culture.
of people.
Or
what is he talking about?
Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people.
No.
For decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them work. We fed them.
Then they say this
shit. Tiny little group into a massive group. That's not oppression.
Massive. That is not true.
Them. Do you understand? You only grow big if you get fed. You only start at 800 and become 50 million if you get fed.
It sounds like an oppressor to me.
For crying out loud. You know, enough with this nonsense.
But so you understand, because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid.
Well, we never saw this oppression you're talking about.
You never saw it.
No, I never saw it.
Yeah, because you're white.
Ah, this is hilarious.
2 points he made, I want y'all to remember, I want to hold on to. He said, what do you want to see us? Go back to the jungle? Like people of color are not educated to be able to hold it down. Now, who you think is holding this bitch down anyway? Second point he made, at the very end there, he said that something I almost forgot. You know, I'm on this right here, but he said something at the very end I wanted to make a point to. I'm not going to repeat it, but he said something that don't make no damn sense at the end of that. I kind of want to play it back.
Concern at the moment, and why I think South Africa is a big talking point in the US right now, is America in the next 20 years will become, for the first time in its history, a minority white country.
That's right.
Well, that will be a very, very bad thing to happen. You want to see the US go down? Why?
That's not
you
true.
don't like cars and electric cars, and you don't like technology, or what is it? You want to go back to the jungle, or?
If the US becomes a minority white country.
Yes.
Bro, who cares?
So there's Latinas, there's blacks, there's people from all different races.
Most of the world is mixed.
Majority, and then
everybody's African.
Be 48%.
Most people are African.
Do you really think the US is
if not clones?
If it goes under?
Yes, it goes under there.
Seriously?
Yes, of course. You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects
or a hybrid
European
type
culture.
of people.
Or
what is he talking about?
Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people.
No.
For decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them.
He said he did not see oppression. As much of the oppression you saw in South Africa during the Mandela years and the Bishop Tutu time, you gonna tell me you didn't see no oppression? It's oppression over there now. The small community is running the big community. It's all about dollars. Y'all took them people's shit and y'all running the show over there. And yes, they're blacks that's gaining, but they should have been gaining all along. But you want to take credit for their gains. And then you're going to say, if it's a majority rule in the United States, then we're going to go back to the jungle. We got a Indian, a Muslim mayor up in New York now. We got there's a lot of things going on now where white people are losing their edge, and a lot of them are okay with it. So this is not me being a racist or anything like that. A lot of people, a lot of white folks have adapted that there's a change going on, and it's a multiculturalism. My dad told me that when I was probably 17 years old or so. He said something to me that I thought was profound, and I carried it today. It's nothing serious. But he said that at some point, it's just going to be a complete one race. Blacks and whites and other communities are going to mix together, and it's going to be all one. Not this dominating shit that it is today. And white people have to understand, white America is going to have to understand, and white Europe is going to understand that Asian people, African people, other countries are equal to them now. And when they understand that, Latin American, Hispanic people, all are equal. They're down there fucking with Venezuela right now, and Russia got guns on their ass if they try one motherfucking thing that's too much other than blowing up them ships. You run around talking about taking them out on drugs, shooting them little boats, talking about they're going to be about going to deliver drugs to the United States. That's cap. All that shooting boats and shit, talking about drugs ain't nothing but damn cap. If that ain't cap, listen to this shit right here. Let me tell you what the real reason why he's over there. Listen to what Trump said in his first term.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door. But now...
all that oil. That's what the whole shit about. This shit's about the oil, man. They want the control of that oil over there, and the resources, so that China and Russia won't have any type of leverage in this region. And you want to agree to that, and that sounds cool. All that Monroe Doctrine shit about everybody taking care of their hemisphere, but you ain't doing that. You know, two things ain't the same. You ain't practicing what you preach. We all over there in Southeast Asia, fucking with Taiwan, building up in the Philippines. My God, my people in the Philippines. Building up in the Philippines, threatening China in Southeast Asia when they're a powerhouse over there. Y'all on Russia's front door for 4 years, been fighting Ukraine, wanting to be right there in front of Russia. But Russia don't want your ass up on their front door. And China don't want you on their front door. But you don't want them on your front door in Latin America. Man, United States, you cannot do it, man. You cannot be hypocritical. People seeing through that shit. Colorism is, people are becoming more equal now. You know, it ain't like you gonna run up and just take over countries and kick people out and shit no more. Other countries have partnerships. What's the group now? The dollar ain't as strong as it used to be. When you got India, you got what's the countries they got the group together? I think it's Brazil and a couple of others. They all have they've come together to be a stronger more financially strong than the United States. So, you know, I don't know, man. Like I said, I see this every day, and I get tired of the hypocrisy of white people trying to continue to hold power across this country. That's really all it is. And it's on a small level. You watch Shakur Sanders. You can even take it to your job and your own personal business. You know that there's been white people in your life that's tried to white men that's tried to hold you back. Some cases they help. This is a generalization. But for the most part, they think they're more superior than you are. So with that being said, I'm going to get to our topic for the day, because we're 33 minutes in talking about world politics and sports and all that bullshit. But I want to get to the topic today here that we talked about, and I'm going to run a video before we get into my monologue about this chick, and I'm going to get back to what I said here. And before I get into my video, you guys tell me, Thursday is time to re-up on my bar here. So if y'all got any recommendations, because it's still a full, it ain't full, but I only do this when I'm doing my live stream. I'm doing the week, no drinking, maybe a beer or so every now and then, but no drinking like this. I just do this occasionally when I do the live stream for the purpose of having fun with you guys, because y'all like friends of mine. So we just kick it like that. So if y'all got a drink recommendation, share it with a brother. Share it with a brother, because I'm going to the, I guess we call it the ABC store here in North Carolina. It's still controlled by the state. I think that's coming apart, where you can buy it at regular stores. But in North Carolina, alcohol is still controlled by the state, so you have to have a separate place other than the convenience store you can buy real alcohol at. So if you guys got a recommendation, that right there is Maker's Mark. So if y'all got a recommendation for me, let me know. I'm going to be re-upping here on Thursday of this week. So when we do our live on Thursday, I'll have something new. And basically, it might be what y'all recommend. So y'all throw in the chat what y'all think is a good alcohol to buy, and I'll get that. So we're gonna get into the video of the night. We're gonna get into the video of tonight. Now tonight we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about a video that's ripping the black community apart. I don't know if it's ripping the black community apart, but the idea of what she's saying is ridiculous. And I hope no other female thinks this way. And I know y'all do, some of you, not all of you females, but some of you do. And some of you think like this chick that said, don't live with a man. And she even went as far. That's what made me say we're gonna do a live stream on it. Because she said, even if you have a husband or kids with him, it's okay to leave. Kids are better off without their father in the home. Now that's crazy work. I'm sure all relationships don't work out, but that should be something we're trying to perpetuate. But she did. So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna run her clip, and then we're gonna talk about this damn thing, guys. We're gonna talk about this damn thing. So without further ado, where is she at here? We're gonna get right at it. We're at the 36 mark right now, and let's talk about what she just said. Okay, without further ado, where is she at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's her. All right, before we get into her, I had saved on my drive this sexy voice from this Colombian woman right here, and I want to share that with y'all. These women from Colombia got the sexiest thing coming out of their mouth that you could ever imagine. Listen to this chick before we get into this. Roll this clip.
In Colombia, we don't say, babe, can you come home soon? We say, papacito, ¿usted piensa que va a llegar a la casa tempranito esta noche? Porque usted me está haciendo mucha falta. Yo te quiero dar todos los besitos que yo puedo. Y también tráigame un arroz con leche, porque tengo mucha hambre. Venga, papi.
What the fuck did she just say? Wow! These Brazilian women with that Portuguese and these Colombian women and Latino women, they got the sexiest accent you ever seen. Damn! I tell you what, they got y'all Filipinos on that. As much as, and I got a Filipino girlfriend, so y'all know. But shit, that shit is so fucking sexy. I don't know, man. That shit's off the chain, sexy guys. I don't know. I ain't never been down that road. But maybe some of y'all have, and if y'all have, more power to you, brother. Shout out to Carlos says technology is blowing up the white supremacy. You're right about that. That's exactly what I meant. That's really it in a nutshell right there. It's the technology is taking these mothers out. So good point you made there. No doubt about that, Carlos. I got to support you on that. That's really the whole deal. Technology supersedes bigotry. Technology supersedes bigotry. So, without further ado, I want y'all to listen to this video and tell me if this woman got a point. If she got a point, I'll be the first to apologize. If this woman got a point, y'all saw the thumbnail. If this woman got a point, I'll be the first to apologize. But I'm gonna get into what I'm gonna give you my opinion, and then we're gonna close the stream for the night. So without further ado, actually I got another comment. I'm thinking it's from my man Carlos too, by the way. Carlos says, yeah, I know my woman is Amazonian Indian. Oh my God, really, bro? Jesus Christ, I bet she is gorgeous. Shout out to you, my man. Damn. I know that's what's up. Good shout out to you on that one. All right. I tell you what, all these exotic women, I'm gonna say exotic. That's what makes, and the black women are the most beautiful women on the just as beautiful as anyone else. It's just that the attitude that comes with them is what causes the problem. If they wasn't so entitled, if they didn't have so much attitude, they would be right there in the running. But their mouth and their attitude and their expectations has taken them completely out of the game. But y'all got me on there. Carlos got me off subject talking about all that right there, because I just love to see brothers doing their damn thing. No question about it. All right. Without further ado, let's hear what this woman has to say. Y'all let me know what she think, and we're going to break this down. Where is she at? Let's get it right here. So I'm going to put it on dark so we can concentrate. Let's get it. She says, women should leave the husband and the kids will be okay. I think it's dangerous, but run the clip.
Having that man in your home is draining the life out of you and draining the life out of your children. Your children deserve better than that. They deserve a home that is peaceful and filled with love, not a home where they have to walk on eggshells. You're afraid to leave that man in that home because you don't want the stigma of being a single mother. But all of the single mothers I know who left are thriving, and their children are thriving as well. Do not stay in that house for your children because your children are begging you to get out. So many children wanted their mother to leave their father. A lot of these men are not contributing. They're financially abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive. They're not great partners. They're not active and involved fathers. They are just there, causing chaos. They can't manage their emotions. They're not contributing in the way in which they should, besides causing all of these issues within the home. It is okay to live separately from these men, even if you have children with them.
What's your take on that, guy? I'm going to play it one more time. And this time I'm going to leave the light on. And by the way, I want you guys to... I'm going to play that one more time. And let's see what we got. Because I just want you to... Let's process this.
Having that man in your home is draining the life out of you and draining the life out of your children. Your children deserve better than that. They deserve a home that is peaceful and filled with love, not a home where they have to walk on eggshells. You're afraid to leave that man in that home because you don't want the stigma of being a single mother. But all of the single mothers I know who left are thriving, and their children are thriving as well. Do not stay in that house for your children because your children are begging you to get out. So many children wanted their mother to leave their father. A lot of these men are not contributing. They're financially abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive. They're not great partners. They're not active and involved fathers. They are just there, causing chaos. They can't manage their emotions. They're not contributing in the way in which they should, besides causing all of these issues within the home. It is okay to live separately from these men, even if you have children with them.
Okay. So when you hear a woman celebrating leaving their man, breaking up the family, raising kids alone, and calling fatherhood optional, you're not hearing confidence. You're hearing a hurt woman preaching generational trauma. That's how I see it. There's a comment right there from probably my man Carlos. He says, bitterness is a hell of a drug. You just took the word out. I'm gonna leave that up because I just said hurt woman preaching generational trauma. Is that not what we agree upon? Hurt women preaching generational drama, and you said bitterness is a hell of a drug. It's the same thing. Relationships are treated like disposable items, and men are seen as temporary. Families are viewed as personal projects, not partnerships, and commitment is treated like a burden. It's not a strength. It's a dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional marketing. Marketed as liberalism. That's what it is. And I want to be real. America actually benefits when black families fall apart. You probably heard that before. America benefits when black families fall apart. A woman can leave a man and still keep her home, the kids, get support, and get applause. All of that. Get applause. Where's my applause button? Better be glad I can't find it. Here it is right there. Where's that? Right here. That's what they get. Meanwhile, the man loses his family, loses his finances, his peace, and still gets blamed. So when TikTok creators like this woman you just saw say this kind of shit, sis, leave him, you'll be better off. Ain't cool. They're repeating what the systems train them to believe. That's not in the best interest of children, the community, or them, even themselves in long term. And here's the part that they don't want you to discuss. When the father is removed from the home, the damage hits the kids first. I want you to hear this. The damage hits the kids first. Boys are raised without masculine presence. Let's talk about that. Boys are raised without masculine presence. They become more emotionally reactive. I'm not calling them no names, but you know they're more emotional when they're raised by a woman. They think and respond more like their mother. They lack discipline and structure, and they struggle with aggression and identity when they're raised by the mother rather than the both parents, and are more likely to end up in the streets or in prison. Not because they're bad kids, but because they never saw what it's like for what a man looks like or what a man thinks like. And the girls, the young girls, no father, they're often confused and think and confuse attention for love. You see it all the time. They get pregnant earlier. They chase validation, struggle with boundaries, become more promiscuous, and fall into that same cycle of broken relationships. I've seen it so many times it don't make no sense. That's what you get. So this isn't woke empowerment. This is cultural decline. The United States is cultural decline. So in some cases, Donald Trump makes sense when he try to fight against cultural poison culture. It's just that he talks in such a divisive way that hurts the country. But America has normalized it so much it's almost expected. This bullshit. In other cultures, even the poor ones, even the poor countries, y'all can think about. Call them what you call them. I'm not calling them what Trump calls them. They'll raise their kids with respect, structure, spirituality, family loyalty, and even when the father isn't present, they still do everything possible to anchor the next generation. Virginia raised 3 boys. The girl that I date now, she's close to my age. She ain't quite my age. You've seen Virginia on my front page, or you've seen her come on the channel, or maybe in the chat. She's very beautiful for her age. And she raised 3. She's college educated. She speaks well. And like most Filipinos, she's shy. But she raised those kids. Her husband died early. And she raised them kids with her family to be the best 3 boys you can ever imagine. Hard working. I'm very proud of her and them kids. And I'm sure you can get that from the Black community too. But the culture here kind of changes the thing. If you don't believe it, go to Atlanta. I ain't driving for that. So, Black America, we told you to do the opposite and you clapped for it. So what this ultimately does, this behavior, what it does is it makes us guys want to leave and date overseas. When you're constantly told that you don't matter, and you hear this all the time. Let me see if I can find it. You hear it all the time from women. When you're constantly told you're not needed, you're replaceable, you're a problem, all those type of things. Fatherhood doesn't matter. Masculinity is toxic, and you don't need a man and all that shit. When you hear that, it makes you want to seek other relationships. You hear women say shit like this all the time.
Who needs a man? I don't need no man. Who needs a man? I don't need no man.
Yeah. And when guys like myself and guys like y'all guys out there, when you start traveling and you meet women in the Philippines or Thailand or Colombia, Brazil or Mexico or Africa or any of these countries other than the United States, you instantly feel the difference. You feel and see that family is sacred. And men are respected, and children honor their fathers, and commitment is normal, and femininity isn't mocked, and masculinity isn't criminalized. You learn that all this material shit that we hear in America is not as important as people and community. And you're like, damn, I'm over here buying a TV every 6 months to keep up with motherfuckers that don't give a shit no way. And all it's doing is it's costing me money. But when you go to other countries and stuff, you see that you don't need all that shit. Because at the end of the day, it's not as important. These women, they just want partnership, they want unity, and they want a stable home. And it's cheaper to keep. It's cheaper there. So that's what men are choosing. Not race, but a mindset. So my message to the women, I have a message for you women, because I love y'all just the same. Lovely ladies, I don't think that y'all bad. Y'all just caught up in a situation where we can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle. So to the women cheering for separation and preaching for independence at the cost of family, I want you gals and girls to listen carefully to me. Listen to Uncle Vic. You're not empowering the community, you're breaking it. You call it strength, but your children are calling it loneliness. You call it, I don't need a man, but your son is calling it fatherlessness. And your daughter is calling it confusion. If you're destroying your home, if destroying your home is your first response, don't be surprised, ladies, when no good man wants you to build one with you. So, and when you finally ask, where all the good men at? Because that's your favorite thing. Where all the good men at? We ain't gone. We just stopped fighting for homes where we're not respected. And brothers, to my fellas in the house, hear me. Stop arguing with these 304s, man, who hate accountability. Don't want to build something with you or someone who you see is and they see that as optional. So protect your seed and your peace. If she uses separation as a weapon, leave her first. Only invest in women here in the United States or overseas, either way, who want unity, loyalty, and partnership. Because the truth is, a woman who destroys her own home will never help you build yours. So you want to choose wisely, something I've learned myself, still learning, intentionally, and put peace over prize. And that's really all I have to say tonight as I land this plane. That's my message for the day, fam. You know, you only, choose a woman. A woman can destroy everything you got if you choose the wrong one. Black community can't rise if the foundation, the family, keeps getting torn apart from, likes and trends and temporary emotions. If we want strong children and strong marriages and strong relationships, we need women and men who value building and not breaking. So I'm gonna holler at y'all on Thursday. I appreciate y'all stopping in. We did this under an hour, guys. I got one more comment for Carlos, and he says, "I never seen a video from a foreign woman complaining about black men." You damn right, because I don't even know how to answer that. I know how to answer that because guys, first of all, when men go overseas, I think brothers, we don't, unlike our sisters, and some of our sisters are getting better, but when men go overseas, we know how to act for the most part. You don't see us doing that clown ass shit you saw but Fantelli did in the Philippines and Johnny, whatever his name is, because we don't act the fool. I know that you see a lot of white men getting impatient in lines in the Philippines and being impatient with the Filipino people there locally. But you don't see that from black men because we know our boundaries. We know when to do what and say what. We got so much respect from the way we were raised. We ain't gonna act no fool in public. We don't act a fool in public here in the United States. If you don't, them damn crackers, excuse my language, they will come down on your ass, bruh. And the police will be here. We used to being, having to control our tempers if we're going to live a long, successful life. That's how we are in the United States. We can't just, pretend like we own the world. That's what them white guys do. They because they are so privileged in the United States, they can go over to the Philippines and think they're better than everybody else. And when shit don't go their way, they crash out and end up going to jail over there. But you never see a brother going to jail because we know our boundaries and we know, and basically we just act the same way we do in the United States. And we do that in every other country. However, on the other side, the sisters sometimes, and I hope they're getting better, at least I see it I haven't seen anything in social media lately, but the sisters still have a tendency to have that entitlement. And they take it overseas, and sometimes that gets them in trouble because they think like a white man in so many ways. They think that they have the same privileges they have in this United States, and they don't. You don't have no privileges when you go overseas. 0 privileges. All you have is your self-respect and your common sense and your ability to understand what is right and from wrong and follow the laws that you know. And you'll be okay as long as you have patience. You gotta have patience. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Actually this week on Thursday, we'll have some show. I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. We'll find something. But in the meantime, y'all have a great week. Shout out to your best teams, or whoever you like. And don't let the bullshit get you down. You guys have a great, great week. And we'll holler at you then.
get it.